Hey guys, Devin Gridley at All Father Fitness, and I had a realization about a lot of the videos I make, especially on fat loss, which is probably a lot of my most popular videos. And it came to me when I made the last two videos I made, which were the best types of food you can eat when you're going on a diet. So they were mostly protein and fiber foods. That's all that they were. But it made me realize that a lot of the information I give you in my fat loss videos might be a little too much, especially to take in as your first, like, imagine it like a lesson and you're taking a school lesson and they just throw the most complicated things at you. This is the first time you're hearing of it, learning of it, and I make it a little bit too complicated. So this video, like you probably read in the title, is the most simple things you can do to your diet that are really going to make a difference for you and your goals. So I got five simple tips, and these are things that I do. And being more advanced, I guess you could say, in dieting and fitness and stuff like that, just having these tips really puts me in how I can lose fat. It puts me in a calorie deficit because I'm experienced enough to know, be able to kind of look at a food and know, and then as well as just kind of feel, if I'm feeling hungry, I'm probably in a calorie deficit. That's just kind of how it works. But I'm just able, through these tips, it kind of really helps. And then knowing the other things I know, like eating this food and eating that food and actually counting calories would really makes that like huge difference. That's going to be a huge difference, but I feel like these small tips you first implement into your training and dieting is what's going to kind of lead you into the other videos I've made and make you more advanced or whatever and be able to actually reach your goals and not just hear what I'm saying and then try to take it all in and not really understand it completely. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. And the first tip, if you've ever seen any video like this, the first tip about dieting is always really getting rid of sugar. And it's because it's a universal thing. Like, sugar is obviously bad for you. It's a known fact that sugar is not good for you in any way, really. Now, I myself don't completely get rid of sugar, and I don't think you should either. It's just, I believe it's unnecessary. If you really want to go the distance and try and do that, you can. You please go ahead and do it and show us how to do it, best ways to do it, whatever. But getting rid of sugar is just really gonna make a huge difference for you. And there was at one point when I first started, I actually completely cut sugar out. I did for like a month, which is why I'm saying that you probably shouldn't or aren't gonna be able to just cut it out completely 100%. It's just really hard to get around not having any sugar at all. It's almost impossible. There's at least like 1 gram of sugar in everything you eat. Like, it's just too hard. But what I mean by getting rid of sugar is just getting rid of the huge things that are super sugary. Things like soda. Soda's a big one. You always hear people say that soda is horrible for you, and I could prove it. But soda, any type of dessert, really. You don't want to be eating ice cream every day. Don't want to be eating cake or donuts or anything that's super heavy in sugar like that every single day. Every once in a while is perfectly fine. Like, I still eat sugar. I had a soda last night with my burger. I had cake like 3 weeks ago for my sister's birthday. Like, I don't completely cut it out, but just making sure you're not eating it every single day is really going to help you. And I said I can prove that sugar is just really bad for you. It's more sugar or soda and sugar. When I did go sugar free for that entire month, I remember the first time I tasted soda, and I can't even describe how nasty it tasted. It put like a film all in my mouth. It was horrible after that month, and I actually completely cut soda out. I rarely ever have it, just because of how nauseous and how disgusting it felt actually drinking that after the like month. I just didn't have any sugar. So if you wanted to go and try that, go completely sugar free for like a week. Try some soda and you'll probably puke. It's disgusting and horrible. You'll never want to drink it again, and it helps obviously because you won't want to drink it. So that's obviously really good. The next thing kind of ties into the getting rid of sugar, but it's more based around calories than it is the sugar, which is more important for fat loss. And that is switching out super sugary things or super calorie dense things for non-calorie dense things. And the biggest calorie dense food that every single person eats around the world really is cereal. A lot of people don't realize that even healthy cereals are not good for you. They are a lot of calories. I went and actually, before I made this video, I went and measured out how much, like, on average I eat for cereal. And for the cereal I eat a healthy cereal. It's Honey Bunches of Oats. That's what I eat. It's like my favorite cereal. And I measured it out. It's a serving per 2/3 cups. So every 2/3 cups is one serving, and one serving was, I believe, 130 calories. So I had, what would it be, 4 and 3 cups. So I had 1 1/3 of a cup of cereal, which is 2 servings. So it was 260 calories of just cereal, and that doesn't seem bad until you add how much milk you put in. I didn't measure the milk. I probably should have, but I would assume I put in around a cup of milk, and a cup of milk comes out to, like, I believe 260 calories. So 260 plus another 260, that's obviously over 500 calories, and that is a lot of calories, especially for just one meal. And the fact that it doesn't fill you up at all, really, it just kind of gets you to lunch. That's it. Like, so switching out cereal for things, any other breakfast item, I would go for oats, because oats are very easy to make. They're very cheap, and they have a lot of variety, because all you do is you cook the oats, and then you can make them however you want. You can make them the maple sugar and cinnamon. You can make them with, I almost said vegetables. You can make them with fruits. You can make them with anything, and they're just really easy, really cheap. Another thing is French toast. I know a lot of people don't have the time to just wake up and make French toast every morning. So, yeah, but that's obviously a really good thing, and that comes into my next thing, and meal prepping. Now, I said in the beginning of this video, simple tips. Meal prepping, if you know what it is, isn't simple at all, really, and it's actually pretty time consuming. But in the long run, it does save you time. And if you don't know what meal prepping is, it's basically where, let's say on Sunday, I would make my breakfast for the rest of the week, and I'd make my lunch for the rest of the week, and I'd make my dinner for the rest of the week. That obviously takes a lot of time. And personally, I don't do real meal prepping. I do sometimes with the French toast, because it takes a while to make, and it's just nice to have it every morning if I want it or whatever. But what I mean for the actual meal prepping, don't do 100% meal prepping as in actually making your food and for every single meal every single day, like in advance. What I mean by it is just knowing what you're going to have, instead of just waking up and being like, I guess I'll have this cereal, and then for lunch I guess I'll have this, and then for dinner I guess I'll just make this. Instead, have a plan of what you're going to eat, or figure out what you're going to eat. Like, if your parents are going to make dinner, before dinner, ask them, what are we having for dinner? And you can kind of think about that. If you need more protein, make something with a lot of protein in it. If they're not making anything with protein, obviously. And then, just having the idea of what you're going to eat it doesn't seem like it's going to do a lot, but it really will, because then you're able to keep track of the things that you eat, and in turn be in a calorie deficit because of that. And not knowing what you're going to eat, when, where, how you're going to eat it, whatever, it's just not good. It's gonna not help you at all. It doesn't really have a negative side effect, but it doesn't have a positive side effect. It's just neutral. While knowing what you're gonna eat has a positive side effect. So obviously you want to go for that one. And the next biggest tip, this one is a huge one that a lot of people overlook for some reason, and it's getting fat-free things. Now, it's a little bit more expensive, but I'm sure if you do live on your own, you can spare a few extra dollars to just buy fat-free cheese and milk or whatever. And that's really what it's going to come down to, is milk, cheese, and lean meats. The meat is going to be by far the most expensive part of that, but just getting fat-free cheese and fat-free milk and being able to make things out of those are two, like, primary ingredients in a lot of food that you make that's going to be anabolic. You can go follow Greg Doucette or Remington James. A lot of their recipes actually use cheese, but cheese is very calorie dense. So how do you make it less calories? Fat free. Because if you didn't know, I've been saying this a lot recently, but 1 gram of fat is 15 calories, while 1 gram of protein and carbs is only, I believe, 9 calories. I'm not 100%, but I know it's obviously less than fat. So fat is not only not good for you, but it's also super calorie dense, and it doesn't fill you up at all. So getting rid of fat is going to help you tremendously. And I feel like something like milk. Milk's a really big one. Everyone has milk in the house. Everyone has it in their cereal, or they have it for lunch, dinner, breakfast, whatever. And just having it with that little less fat in it is really going to make a difference, especially over time. Because if you're taking in, let's say, a cup of milk is 260 calories, and that has, I don't know, an extra gram of fat. You're minusing just 1 gram of fat out of it. You're minusing 15 calories. 15 calories every single day can add up. It's not going to make a massive difference, but obviously you're going to be drinking or eating more than just 1 cup of the milk or the cheese or whatever, right? And the biggest tip, this doesn't really go directly into your diet, and it's just learn more. And like I said, it doesn't go into your diet much, but learning more about not only foods and then the calories behind them, and then things like how fiber and protein fill you up more than carbs and fat are going to fill you up. Learning that stuff is going to make obviously a huge difference, because then you can make your own decisions about eating and your diet instead of just coming and watching my video or any other YouTuber's video about it. And it's just having more knowledge about any subject is obviously going to make you more proficient in the subject. So learning more about fat loss is eventually you're going to catch on and you're going to see results. So just learning more is going to help you a lot. So watch more of my videos. That seems like a pretty good trade-off to me. But yeah, that's all I really got for this, the 5 simple tips that you can implement in your diet to make huge differences. If you watch this and it actually helped you, please leave a comment. If you do this, you do any of these, like the sugar-free one or whatever, and it helped you a lot, or you made any gains, or you lost any fat, please come back to the video and comment down below. I love to hear that I actually help people, and I love to be able to respond to you. And yeah, that's all I really got. So you know the drill. Subscribe, hit the bell notification so you get notifications on when and if my videos are coming, as well as liking the video for the YouTube algorithm, because that helps tremendously. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.